Yesterday, there were 76,000 people at Old Trafford. Yesterday, Manchester United played Arsenal. And yesterday, I also stood and sat in the East Stand where every fan who had any opportunity or were given any encouragement were singing their hearts out to try and get Manchester United over the line. But unfortunately, Manchester United could not get the 3 points. And we stand here today where Manchester United sit 8th in the Premier League. And now I'm talking to each and every single one of you Manchester United fans, just like me. Do you remember the time where Manchester United would lose a game and it would sting, it would hurt, your whole weekends just finished? The time when Manchester United would finish second and we would be our hearts would have been broken. But we sit here today where Manchester United are going to register their lowest points tally, their lowest league position for God knows how long. And I want to ask you fans, where do we go now? Everybody can blame Erik ten Hag, everybody can blame Casemiro, everybody can blame the Glazers. But what I think that needs to happen is we need a full reset. We need every single player that we've said for years to leave the club. We're talking Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we're talking Dalot, we're talking Casemiro. You know that as well. We're talking about Anthony. We're talking about Varane. We're talking about Lindelof. There's so many names. Van der Beek. Do you remember? He was here as well. He's still here. Anthony Martial. We need a full reset to save this club. Because if we don't, if we think 8th is worse, there's going to be a lot more dark days ahead. The more I think about this game, I think the more I'm going to turn grey. The more my beard's going to turn grey, the more my heart is going to start racing. So we need to draw a line of the game from yesterday. So yes, Manchester United lost, but I want to try and dive deeper into the player performances. And yeah, don't get me wrong. I know all of the players have been below the par for the standard that you expect for a Manchester United team. But I want to go through it with you. So give me a couple of minutes while I do that. I want to start off with Onana in goal. I was sat in the East Stand and I thought, despite of the fact that he's made countless mistakes. Yesterday, he made a couple of great saves in the second half, so I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Thank the Lord that Erik ten Hag woke up and decided that Wan-Bissaka needs to play on the right and Dalot needs to play on the left. We're going to get onto their ratings, but I do not understand why A, he thinks Wan-Bissaka is an inverted playmaker, but from their left. That's what I will never understand. But let's go back to the ratings before I start losing my shit. Wan-Bissaka, to be fair to him, I don't think he made many mistakes, but he didn't have a fantastic game either, so I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Johnny Evans, he tried his best, but it's Johnny Evans. He's 37, 38. He's hanging on to his professional career, and I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Casemiro is the talk of the town right now, I know. But he was at fault for the goal and he kept losing possession. But I think he was a million times better than he was against Crystal Palace. So that should tell you how poor he was against Crystal Palace. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. And I know that might cause some controversy, but I think that's a fair player rating for Casemiro. Left back, Dalot. That's where the goal came from, if I'm not mistaken. Me personally, I don't think Dalot is good enough for a starting position as a right back for Manchester United. In the long term, there's so much surgery that needs to be carried out at Manchester United, but Dalot is not good enough. And yesterday, I thought he had a poor game, and I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. In midfield, Kobbie Mainoo, he was tidy on the ball. You know, he's a young kid. Wasn't his best game, so I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Scott McTominay just returned from injury. Again, he worked hard, but all of us know when it comes to flair, when it comes to creativity, when it comes to vision, that's not the words that you would associate with Scott McTominay. And yesterday, again, although he tried his best, It wasn't a great game from Scott McTominay, and I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Moving on to the Lion, Morocco's Lion, Soufiane Amrabat. I thought he had a good game. A lot of the fans were very frustrated with him in the stands. They felt like he kept passing it backwards, but it felt nice to have a defensive midfielder who wants to stay in the position that a defensive midfielder wants to or should stay in. I mean, that's how low the bar is. That is how low the bar is. I thought he had a decent game. Is he the long-term fix? Do we keep him permanently? No, we don't. But I thought he had a decent game. I'm going to give him 6 out of 10. Moving on to Garnacho. Look, Garnacho's a kid. If we were under Fergie and this was Fergie's time, and I know we need to move on from that, Garnacho wouldn't be playing as many games that he has been playing. He's been carrying that creativity flag, that vision where he gets the ball and the fans expect something. And that's tough for Garnacho at his age. I know he's represented Argentina. I know he's going to have a fantastic career. But yesterday was another example where I feel like he's been overcooked, overused. He had chances to take on Ben White. He couldn't do it. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Moving on to Amad Diallo. I thought he was the best player on the park. He was creative. He had intent. He was positive. He had tricks. Arsenal didn't know how to handle him. Unfortunately, it seemed like he had an injury, so he had to come off. But I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. And I think that's one of the problems where Ten Hag can be a little bit loyal with some of the players. And I'm really amazed that, Diallo's not played more games than he has, but I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. And moving up front again, Rasmus Højlund, busy, energetic, but the truth is, and not a lot of people are saying it, or not a lot of people that I talk to are saying it, but he gets bullied up front. And yesterday was an example where the best defence in the Premier League snuffed him out very, very easily. I mean, he held the ball up well at times, but overall, I think physically, he's not ready for the Premier League. And yesterday was another example of that. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. And overall, we worked hard. As Ten Hag says, we had the right attitude. But ultimately, there's just not enough quality in the starting lineup. There's not enough quality for when you say the name, the brand, the myth, the legend, the Manchester United name is not being represented at the moment. And we have severe surgery that needs to be carried out, because this cannot carry on. We're getting to the stage where I don't want to watch football anymore. Manchester United lose and it's not even having that much impact on me, because that's how low the bar is. And like I said, I need to draw a line of this. Thank you so much for watching the content so far. Like I said, we've got a lot of things coming up. Make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like. Check us out. We're a brand new Manchester United channel, but we want to do things differently, and I definitely think there's a gap in the market for this channel. So make sure you stay tuned, and thank you so much for everyone that has given a chance. Check us out for the next video. We'll be back for the match predictions for Manchester United versus Newcastle on Wednesday. Peace out.